The Harvester obeyed. He was freshly and carefully shaven. His hair was closely cropped at the base of the head, long, heavy, and slightly waving on top. He wore a white silk shirt with a rolling collar and tie, white trousers, belt, hose, and shoes, and his hands were manicured with care. "Have I made a mess of it, or do I appear anything like other men?" he asked eagerly. The Girl lifted her eyes to Doctor Harmon and smiled. "Do you observe anything messy?" she inquired. "You needn't fish for compliments quite so obviously," he answered. "I'll pay them without being asked. I do not. He is quite correct and infinitely better looking than the average. Distinguished is a proper word for the gentleman, in my opinion. But why, in Heaven's name, have we never had the pleasure of seeing you thus before?" "Look here, Doc," said the Harvester, "do you mean that you enjoy looking at me merely because I am dressed this way?" "I do indeed," said the doctor. "It is good to see you with the garb of work laid aside, and the stamp of cleanliness and ease upon you." "By gum, that is rubbing it in a little too rough!" cried the Harvester. "I bathe oftener than you do. My clothing is always clean when I start out. Of course, in my work I come hourly in contact with muck, water, and herb juices." "It's understood. That is unavoidable," said Doctor Harmon. "And if cleanliness is made an issue, I'd rather roll in any of it than put my finger tips into the daily work of a surgeon," added the Harvester, and the Girl giggled. "That's enough, Medicine Man," she said. "You did not make a mess of it, or anything else you ever attempted. As for appearing like other men, thank Heaven you do not. You look just a whole world bigger and better and finer. Come, carry me out quickly. I am wild to go. Please put my lovely flowers in water, Molly. Only give me a few to hold." The Harvester arranged the pink coverlet, picked up the Girl, and carried her to the living room. "We will rest here a little," he said, "and then if you feel equal to it, we will try the veranda. Are you easy now?" She nestled her face against the soft shirt and smiled at him. She lifted her hand, laid it on his smooth cheek and then the crisp hair. "Oh Man!" she cried. "Thank God you didn't give me up too. I want life! I want life!" The Harvester tightened his grip just a trifle. "Then I thank God too," he said. "Can you tell me how you are, dear? Is there any difference?" "Yes," she answered. "I grow tired lying so long, but there isn't the ghost of an ache in my bones. I can just feel pure, delicious blood running in my veins. My hands and feet are always warm and my head cool." The Harvester's face drew very close. "How about your heart, honey?" he whispered. "Anything new there?" "Yes. I am all over new inside and out. I want to shout, run, sing, and swim. Oh I'd give anything to have you carry me down and dip me in the lake right now." "Soon, Girl! That will come soon," prophesied the Harvester. "I scarcely can wait. And you did say a saddle, didn't you? Won't it be great to come galloping up the levee when the leaves are red and the frost is in the air? Oh am I going fast enough?" "Much faster than I expected," said the Harvester. "You are surprising all of us, me most of any. Ruth, you almost make me hope that you regard this as home. Honey, are you thinking a little of me these days?" The hand that had fallen from his hair lay on his shoulder. Now it slid around his neck and gripped him with all its strength. "Heaps and heaps," she said. "All I get a chance to, for being bothered and fussed over, and everlastingly red, mushy stuff that's intended for some one else. Please take me to the veranda now. I want to tell you something." His head swam, but the Harvester set his feet firmly, arose, and carried his Dream Girl back to outdoor life. When he reached the chair, she begged him to go a few steps farther to the bench on the lake shore. "I am afraid," said the man. "It's so warm. There can't be any difference in the air. Just a minute." The Harvester pushed open the screen, went to the bench, and seating himself, drew the cover closely around her. "Don't speak a word for a long time," he said. "Just rest. If I tire you too much and spoil everything, I will be desperate." He clasped her to him, laid his cheek against her hair and his lips on her forehead. He held her hand and kissed it over and over, and again he watched and could find no resentment. The cool, pungent breeze swept from the lake, and the voices of wild life chattered at their feet. Sometimes the water folks splashed, while a big black and gold butterfly mistook the Girl's dark hair for a perching place and settled on it, slowly opening its wonderful wings. "Lie quietly, Girl," whispered the Harvester. "You are wearing a living jewel, an ornament above price, on your hair. Maybe you can see it when it goes. There!" "Oh I did!" she cried. "How I love it here! Before long may I lie in the dining room window a while so I can see the water. I like the hill, but I love the lake more." "Now if you just would love me," said the Harvester, "you would have all Medicine Woods in your heart." "Don't hurry me so," said the Girl. "You gave me a year, and it's only a few weeks, and I've not been myself, and I'm not now. I mustn't make any mistake, and all I know for sure is that I want you most, and I can rest best with you. And I miss you every minute you are gone. I think that should satisfy you." "That would be enough for any reasonable man," said the Harvester angrily. "Forgive me, Ruth, I have been cruel. I forgot how frail and weak you are. It is having Harmon here that makes me unnatural. It almost drives me to frenzy to know that he may take you from me." "Then send him away." "Send him away!" "Yes, send him away. I am tired to death of his poetry and seeing him spoon around. Send both of them away quickly." The Harvester gulped, blinked, and surreptitiously felt for her pulse. "Oh I've not developed fever again," she said. "I'm all right, but it must be a fearful expense to have both of them here by the week, and I'm so tired of them. Granny says she can take care of me just as well, and the girl who helps her can cook. No one but you shall lift me if I don't get my nose out until I can walk alone. Both of them are perfectly useless, and I'd much rather you'd send them away." "There, there! Of course!" said the Harvester soothingly. "I'll do it as soon as I possibly dare. You don't understand, honey. You are yet delicate beyond measure, internally. The fever burned so long. Every morsel you eat is measured and cooked in sterilized vessels, and I'd be scared of my life to have the Girl undertake it." "Why she is doing it straight along now. She and Granny. Molly isn't out of Doctor Harmon's sight long enough to cook anything. Granny says there is a lot of buncombe about what they do, and she is going to tell them so right to their teeth some of these days, if they badger her much more. And I wish she would, and you too." The Harvester gathered the Girl to him in one crushing bear hug. "For the love of Heaven, Ruth, you drive me crazy. Answer me just one question. When you told me that you adored and worshipped Doctor Harmon, did you mean it, or was that the delirium of fever?" "I don't know what I told you. If I said I adored him, it was the truth. I did. I do. I always will. So do I adore the Almighty, but it's no sign I want him to read poetry to me and be around all the time when I am wild for a minute with you. I can worship Doctor Harmon in Chicago or Onabasha quite as well. Fire him! If you don't, I will." "Good Lord!" cried the Harvester, helpless until the Girl had to cling to him to prevent rolling from his nerveless arms. "Ruth, Ruth, will you feel my pulse?" "No, I won't. But you are going to drop me, take me straight back to my beautiful new bed, and send them away." "A minute! Give me a minute!" gasped the Harvester. "I couldn't lift a baby just now. Ruth dear, I thought you loved the man." "What made you think so?" "You did." "I didn't either. I never said I loved him. I said I was under obligations to him. But they are as well repaid as they ever can be. I said I adored him, and I tell you I do. Give him what we owe him, both of us, in money, and send them away. If you'd seen as much of them as I have, you'd be tired of them too. Please, please, David." "Yes," said the Harvester, arising in a sudden tide of effulgent joy. "Yes, Girl, just as quickly as I can with decency. I'll send them on the lake, and I'll take care of you." "You won't read poetry to me?" "I will not." "You won't moon at me?" "No." "Then hurry. But have them take your boat. I am going to have the first ride in mine." "Indeed you are, and soon too!"